Hello, my name is Roland, and I'm here to talk a little bit about Zotero and how I use it for managing all those PDFs, papers, and reports and stuff that you collect. So I've got some friends to help me.
Hi, I'm Diane.
Hi, I'm Brad.
So let's put our swimsuits on and dive in and have a look at how this works. On the desktop here, you can see Zotero, and this is a program you can download for free. It's open source. And I have a series on the left-hand side of folders, and I kind of made them up, and you might come up with your own topics of study. Perhaps each folder can represent some different things that you're working or topic of interest. I just happen to make one called to process because I kind of find it easy to, as I'm working on things, to know where I'm at. And I've got a bit of homework there to do. But you can also see the desktop here, I've got a PDF, and this is something that Jan sent me, and it's a really interesting paper on the new Australian curriculum about teachers and change fatigue. I'm looking forward to reading this, but I want to classify it and sort it out first. So what I'll do, I'll take this thing and I'll drop it onto Zotero. So here I go. Let's put my PDF into Zotero, and I'll drop it into my to process library. There it is. So there's my PDF, and it's sitting in Zotero. But here's some really cool tricks I want to show you. First, I'll right-click on it, and I'm going to retrieve the metadata. Now, this works about 90% of the time. It uses the Google Scholar library. There we go, it's found it. And it retrieved the metadata for the PDF. Now, you can see it's sitting in its own little folder here now, or its own little container. And on the right-hand side, this is the information that it's extracted. Now, this feature here is in part of the settings for Zotero. So by going to the preferences, you can actually set up the actual tools that do this. It allows you to cite the information in a particular style and also to extract it. And that allows you then to be able to control how it feeds through. Now, in the way I've set it up, it's the default way, and it actually takes the information from the Google Scholar library. It works 90% of the time. Do check to see that this actually makes sense and it hasn't actually cited the wrong article. But this looks pretty good, and it's even found the DOI number that I wanted, so that's wonderful. Let's have a look at the article. I'll just double click on it, and I can have a read. Now, I'll show you another trick, something I do. I'll have a look at this article here. Not bad. Some good points in here. I like this about West Australia. Teachers are facing rhetoric and chronic fatigue. Okay, I'm just going to highlight this paragraph here. That's exactly what I'm looking for. I'll just colorize that. So I've highlighted it, and okay, and about the data here. So I'm going to highlight this as well. So I like using color. I might highlight a third one. That'll be another video, how I use my color scheme. And you can see here I've got 3 parts of this highlighted. This is where it gets interesting. There's a plugin in Zotero, and the plugins, or an add-on here, allow me to actually change the way it works. Now, I've got here integration with the Mac, integration with Office, but also a thing called Zotfile. I'll show you what Zotfile does. And the tutorials are on the internet, so you can actually see how they work. Zotfile now allows me to right-click and manage the attachments. Now, I'm going to use one that's called Extract Annotations. Have a look at this. It's running, it's thinking, it's now slowly processing, and this new thing pops up here. These are the things that I just highlighted. And I can now cut and paste them, use them in my research report, and compile my literature review or my essay. But it even has this link here. And if I was to click on that link, it will then go to that part of the document where I actually found the extraction. There we are, found. So that's Zotfile, and allows me to manage the annotations. Zotero allows me to classify and search the actual document for things, and allows me to index it here.
Sorry, Roland.
Yeah.
Can you just show me how did you actually install the Zot file on your MacBook?
I had to actually go to a website that had Zotfile. You can Google Zotfile and you'll find the website there. It'll give you a file. The tricky part is actually going to tools and add-ons, and then you actually drag and drop the extension in here, and that allows you to install it. There aren't too many things you need to configure for it. It will want to know where your stuff is, but I found the default settings work quite well.
Great.
And yeah, do you have any questions?
No, I'm just doing that as you've said, Roland. So that's great. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, suppose you just want to have a quick look at what the reference is going to look like. Well, by right-clicking here, there's an option called Generate Bibliography from the item. And when I do that, I can choose the APA as we do at Monash here. I'll copy it to the clipboard and say OK. And there we go. I now have on the clipboard ready to paste in a document the actual reference. So let's see what that might look like. Just open up a new note here and paste it in, and there we are. And that's nice. That's actually come from the database here, and I don't have to laboriously type it in. So long as my database of papers is current and correct, then the referencing I'm going to use is also correct. And being able to extract the annotations means that I've got an opportunity now to be able to develop my library. I find the advantage of doing it this way compared to just printing out lots of PDFs and papers is that I can actually search for things. So if I was to search for, just pick my name here, every paper that actually mentions my name comes up here. Oh, hello, there's one. I didn't know about this one. This is a Wordle. Oh, yes, I developed that a while ago. That's a Wordle of a way of actually organizing words into a cloud. And of course, yeah, there we are. So I should really add that to my collection of papers. But you can see now how you can actually use this for being able to organize your papers, how to organize your files, how to extract quotations, and how to generate your bibliography. It's a really quite a powerful tool, but like all of these things, really important that you back up your stuff. And that's what I want to show you, because nothing worse than making this wonderful thing and it all disappears in a puff of software logic. Zotero has these plugins, and it also has some preferences in here. Now, I discovered that if you actually create an account in Zotero, and I have one called Our Guesthausen, it can actually sync automatically. This means that when I'm using Zotero, the stuff I've got actually is synchronized online, and I've got a copy on this computer, a copy on my home computer, a copy on my home backup, and a copy online, and a copy on my mobile phone. And I can actually back that up, and if anything happens, I can kind of restore it. So it really is worth doing this rather than just working your own little universe. And when you're feeling confident and you've got some stuff, create yourself an online identity. I have one that's called My Publications, and that allows you, when you working here, Zotero.org, people. This is a web page that actually looks a little bit like a CV of the papers that I've made. I've logged in, I've created an account, I have a little bibliography here, and I have the papers and the details about the papers. So now what I'm doing is I'm quite social, and I've got some friends here in the PPC team, and there's Brad and other people, and we can actually share our stuff. And so it turns my work and my research into a little community. Certainly worth exploring. Thank you very much, and I look forward to hearing your questions.